Parliament is doing something. And you see, the issue we're raising has an implication on the budget. So the person who can bring that is you. But also what we're trying to put up, Honorable Daudi, you must know that tomorrow it could be you. And the earlier you sort it out, because you don't need to look tomorrow. Right now, you may be accessing the president. But tomorrow when you leave that office, you will not be able to what? Access. So you will be one of those who will work until you fall sick more. So we want you to really work on this as quick as possible. Madam Speaker, I'm sure you are getting letters in your office from one of the former leaders of opposition about emoluments of a leader of what? Opposition. I don't know if you have got them. I don't want to mention
Yes,
them.
I have got.
I don't want to say because I was one of them that I'm interested in that. Me, I'm not. But it is very important that once people... No. Yes, I'm entitled, but I'm not the one chasing it now. But the one who wants it more now are those who have left. Even maybe those families which or them have died. Because when we're passing that law, I think we're a bit selfish. I was here. We considered only the speaker.
Just a minute. When we passed the law and considered all the former speakers. And I agree with you. We should have put maybe another category of leaders of opposition or whichever. But that's food for thought. We can do an amendment to that.
Equally, include former commissioners of parliament. Yes, you are part of the administration.
And former government chief whips.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, the funeral bill being sponsored by the Ministry of Public Service was brought to Cabinet. Cabinet reviewed it and again sent it back to the first Parliamentary Council to do some bit of surgery. We have a standing rule in Cabinet that it is only bills whose principles are approved by Cabinet that should form part of the legislative agenda of government. Because in the past, most ministries would send on their list bills that are yet being conceived to be part of the legislative agenda. So once the principles of the proposed law that will highlight the different categories of leaders and what they are entitled to in terms of burials are handled in Cabinet, definitely the bill will come on the floor. Then the members of parliament will be at liberty to look at the different categories proposed by government. If there are categories that we feel we should include, then it can be included. But before the law is in place, I beg that we allow the president to continue exercising the executive authority. So it is work in progress. The bill is already before Cabinet. Once the principles are done, it will come to Parliament through the Ministry of Public Service. Okay.
The president, every now and then, to be issuing selective official burials or providing some specific benefits to other people. What Honorable Betta has raised is very important. How do you manage people who have ever been in Parliament or some offices when they pass on? Let me give an example of Bank of Uganda. Bank of Uganda, when you are an employee and you retire, they will treat you until you die. And when you die, they will bury you. So why don't you also come up with a mechanism? How members of parliament, how government officials, if they pass on, how they are treated, even in treatment, because even the treatment is selective. It is very unfair for a member of parliament who was here. When he falls sick, they selectively say that one will not be treated. Others are what? Treated. Of course, for me, I'm not among those who will fall sick. But I'm just, God, I will not. There are very many colleagues of ours who are suffering out there. If you get them, you always sympathize. If you give him 20,000, you might think you have given him 20 million. So I want Parliament to come up with a better mechanism how to deal with colleagues of that nature. Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I want to add my voice on this what I would describe as the mercy of the president, the prerogative of the president to grant the official burial. Why I also insist that there must be a clear guideline, Madam Speaker. We were caught up in a very difficult situation in Lango when we lost His Highness Yosa Modurebi. The communication from government had told us that the president had granted an official burial. But when we went on the ground, you hardly saw the officialness of government on the ground. And it put a lot of pressure on the local organizing committee who are doing burial. So if there is category A, category B, category C, category D of that grant of official, it should be laid here so that we know in this case it is category C. The government only contributes maybe half or a quarter of the budget because it's bringing a lot of problems for people on the ground. So I would like to ask that the government could clarify particularly on this so that the pressures on the family and the local organizing committees and the conflicts that are usually arising out of such burials could hardly be managed. Thank you.
Thank you. Talk about medical. Because we are talking about death, we don't want anybody to die. Let's look at issues of medical first. What happened with that law?
Chief Whip will conclude on this, but first I wanted to send my condolences to the family of the minister who passed on. She was an inspiration to many girls, especially those who are taking sciences, and we want to honor and recognize her contribution, especially as a Minister of Works. And when she worked so hard, I worked with her so hard when I was the Minister of State for Planning in ensuring that we provide resources to revive the Uganda Airlines. And as a country, we shall miss her and we honor her contribution to that. Regarding, I think, the issues of state or official burials and treatment of government officials, I think what remains is for you, Madam Speaker, to give government a deadline to bring this bill, because the bill is already in cabinet. So I think it's within your powers to guide government to bring this bill within a certain time so that we close it. Otherwise, at the moment, as the Chief Whip said, it remains a good practice by His Excellency the President to come in the absence of the law. So we should be able to appreciate His Excellency the President for what he's doing, especially for the families that are...
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Honorable members, direct government, because government has a legislative agenda. You are executive, and business comes from executive. You have a legislative agenda, please bring the bill if you deem it fit. Because what Honorable Nathan is saying, let's not bother the president all the time. There should be some things that we should be able to do without looking for the president. Like what Honorable Dur said, if it is category A, we are giving this person, this kind of person was a former minister, belongs under category B, like we have agreed as parliament, as parliamentary commission, that we support all those families with just a mere token of 10 million. A token of 10 million, that's what we've agreed. All the families, all the former members of parliament, if one passes on or he needs that 10 million for treatment, that's what we can afford. Yes.